Hi, welcome once again to M5's new English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. So, welcome to lesson 35. My God, good groaning giblets. Lesson 35? Phew! Okay, so let's get stuck in to lesson 35. Now, what did we learn in our last lesson together? I know you know. That's right. Correct a doodle-doo. It was a lesson about the present continuous tense, wasn't it? Yes. Last lesson, we looked at the present continuous, when we use it and how we make it. Let's have a quick think about that again. We use the present continuous when we're talking about something which is happening now. I'm talking to you, for example. You're watching me on the TV. Chobber is recording the sound for the TV program, and Otti is filming me. So all of these things are happening now, and we use the present continuous to talk about things which are happening now. Now, what about the form of the present continuous? How do we make the present continuous? Well, it's simple. The present continuous is the verb to be plus the ing form of a verb. I'm talking, you're running, he's watching TV, for example. Simple, isn't it? The only two places where we have to be careful are where? That's right. The first place we have to be careful is with the verb to be. The first person singular and the third person singular forms of the verb to be are different. All the other forms are the same. Are, you are, we are, you are, and they are. But the first person singular is I am. And the third person singular is he, she, it is. Okay, we know that we normally use the short version. So, I'm, you're, he's, she's, it's, we're, you're, and they're. Good. Now, what about the other area where we have to be careful? Correctamundo. We have to be a little bit careful with the spelling of the ing form. Now, we know about English spelling changes for nouns in the plural, and we know about changing the spelling for the third person singular in the present simple. And this week, we learned we have to be careful if the verb ends in E. If the verb ends in an E, like, for example, make or drive or bake, then we remove the E before we add ing. It's not making, it's making. It's not driving, it's driving. And it's not baking, it's baking. Okay, so we know the first area where we have to be careful. If the verb ends in E, we remove the E before adding ing. Good. Now, are there any other places we have to be careful? Yes, there's another rule we need to remember. If the verb ends in IE, then we replace the IE with YING. The baby's not lying on the bed, it's lying on the bed. The tree is not dying, it's dying. And what's the third rule we have to remember? That's right. If the verb ends in vowel plus consonant, the last letter is doubled. You're sitting down. He's swimming. We're running. So we know how to make and use the present continuous tense in the positive. We also learned how to make negative sentences with the present continuous. Do you remember the word we need? What's the word we always use when we make negative sentences? Correct a doodle-doo. Not. When we want to make a present simple negative sentence, which word do we use? That's right, not. It's the same with the present continuous. We use not to make sentences negative. So, where do we put the word not? Well, where did we put the word not with have got? That's right, we put not in the middle, between have and got. I have got or I've got becomes I haven't got. It's the same with the present continuous. To make the negative, we put not between the verb to be and the ing form, like this. I'm sleeping becomes I'm not sleeping. You're talking becomes you're not talking. They're walking becomes they're not walking. Now that we know how to make positive and negative sentences with the present continuous tense, let's change these positive sentences into negative sentences and change the negative sentences into positive sentences. So, for example, I am sleeping becomes I am not sleeping or I'm not sleeping. They're playing tennis becomes they're not playing tennis. I'm not talking becomes I'm talking. I'm flying. You're drinking champagne. He's driving a Porsche. She's riding a Vespa. We're having fun. The dog's sleeping. You're watching a good film. They're fixing the road. I'm not sitting down. We're not running. She's not playing the trombone. You're not listening to Robert Plant. You're not dancing. He's not playing squash. The computer's not working. They're not waiting for a bus. So, I'm not flying. You're not drinking champagne. He's not driving a Porsche. She's not riding a Vespa. We're not having fun. The dog's not sleeping. You are not watching a good film. They're not fixing the road. I'm sitting down. We're running. She's playing the trombone. You're listening to Robert Plant. You're dancing. He's playing squash. The computer's working. They're waiting for a bus. Fab. Great. Groovy gravy, baby. So, what's next? You know, you all know. We learned the positive version. We learned the negative version. So, that's right. By the toenails of the god of turtles and tortoises, now we need the question. Marvelous, splendid, top hole, top banana. Right, questions. How do we form questions? You know, you all know. When we form a question in the present simple tense, what do? Do you remember? Brilliant. We have to change the word order. Well done. Who said it first? Who is that? It's Ildi from Mishkots. Well done, Ildi. Correct. We have to change the word order. I am ugly is a positive sentence. If we change the word order and add a question mark at the end, we make a question. I am ugly becomes am I ugly? Sorted. Okay, so if we change the word order when we make a question with the present simple tense, what do you think we do when we want to make a question with the present continuous tense? Yes, we have to change the word order. I am talking changes to am I talking? It's time for Mabel. Mabel the table. I'm running. You're running. He's running. She's running. It's running. We're running. You're running. They're running. So, that's the positive. What about the negative? Mabel, I'm not running. You're not running, or you aren't running. He's not running or he isn't running. She's not running or she isn't running. It's not running or it isn't running. We're not running or we aren't running. You're not running or you aren't running. They're not running or they aren't running. Phew! And so, here we are, at the point of no return. Mabel, please, the question table. Am I running? Are you running? Is he running? Is she running? Is it running? Are we running? Are you running? Are they running? So, that's the question form. Let's look at the question form again. To make the question form in the present continuous tense, we use the correct part of the verb to be, am, is, or are. Then we add the subject, I, you, he, Alfredo, Dave Squid, Jenny Wren, and then the ing form of the verb. So, let's see a couple of examples. Are you running this evening? Am I working today? Where is he going? What is Alfredo doing? Why is Dave Squid sleeping? Is Jenny Wren staying in a hotel? Now, did you see how we combined the present continuous with those question words? Good, eh? No, that's better than good. That's great. So, we can ask a question with the present continuous, like, are you working? Good. And we can also use question words with the present continuous. Excellent. We're learning English. Fantastic. Now, let's complete the following sentences together. Look at the example first. Is Sarah Sandwich working today? Now, why do we change the verb to be into is? Because we're asking a question about Sarah Sandwich. Sarah Sandwich is the third person singular. Sarah Sandwich is she. And what is the correct form of the verb to be for the third person singular? That's right, is. Now, what comes next? Well, next is the subject, Sarah Sandwich. And then, well, now we need the ing form of the verb to work, working. And we finish with today and a question mark. Remember that the subject goes between is, are and the ing form of the verb. It's always is Sarah Sandwich working, never is working Sarah Sandwich. Good. Now, let's complete the rest of the questions. Right on. So let's listen to the completed sentences. What are you doing? Where are the police running? What is he watching on TV? Are you listening to me? What are we listening to? Where are your friends going? Is the tram coming? What are the children playing? Okay, excellent, far out, great, magic and groovy. Well, that's all the time we have today. Another English lesson finishes. Thanks for watching M5's new English language learning program, Let's Speak English. Today, we looked at the present continuous tense and practiced making positive and negative sentences. Then, we practiced making questions with the present continuous. I'm Gav Duncan. I'm not Harrison Ford, and I'm not Chewbacca or George Lucas. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'll see you next lesson for some more English fun. See you later. Bye.